think I fixed it. Up back to the grindiness. This is super grindy. The most I can have, I think it's like 20 or 30. Yeah, all right. I think I'm gonna need it all. So let's see. Type. Class ringed max. Let's plug that stuff in. Type, class, brings, habitable, inhabited. We're not going to show that one because that's like an initialization parameter the user would not care about. Orbit velocity. Rotation rate. Radius. Temperature. Composition. Perfect. Almost perfect. Okay. Add pen. Pen string. Radius, density, Oh, yeah, what up, man? It's going good. So, well, I mean, it's not going great. Not this, just a bunch of, like, I'm in a really weird place because I'm, like, happy because we're getting another dog. I'm sad because my grandmother died and I just got back from her funeral. And it's just like, but as far as the project, I've been away for a while because I was flying for a funeral, and I had a couple epiphanies. A big one that lets me do colors way better, and control them better, but it required me to rewrite a bunch of shit, and that's what I'm in the process of doing. But when I'm done with this, I've already built the data model. When I'm done with this, I'll have like just logging for it, which is just a pain in the ass just to build the logging for it. But it will be like the full universe model at that point. It won't be rigged up to anything, but it will be like the framework on which everything else gets built in the re-architect of the project, the first project that I was working on. No, yeah. I mean, like, I was at my parents' house, so I couldn't do anything, you know. I just had my phone. But it did give me time to think about some stuff. And the big one, the big epiphany is that I had been, for randomizing colors, I had been making like arrays of colors that worked well together, and then like randomly warping between, like randomly picking two of them and then randomly warping between them. But that's like a huge pain in the ass way to do it. I have a much better way to do it now, and it's actually way more flexible. It makes my randomization better. The way you do it is, instead of just building like an array of colors, like linear colors, you just make some gradients, and then what I basically do is I have a temperature and a composition, 0 to 1 value, and I just feed that into the XY of the gradient, sample position, and sample the color at that pixel. And that lets me do all kinds of cool stuff, like sample places that are like certain distances from the pixel that you're sampling to get like complementary colors. So I go from having to pass like 5 or 6 colors into a function, like a material function, to just having to pass in 2 floats between 0 and 1, and it gives me like the whole gamut of randomization, which is pretty sick. And it still gives me the control to be able to use only colors that work well together, because you can build the gradients however you need them. So this is just basically the fallout from what I had to change to support that. And that makes all my randomization better, because now instead of doing like having to randomize like 10 different colors, I'm just randomizing temperature and composition of everything. And then those are also stats that could be like, if you wanted to, you could take that value and make it a color or something like that, and then you could sample that, you could convert that into like 3 different elements, and then you could have a periodic table. But like that's more than I'm looking to do with it right now. I think what I've built with these structs and their initializers, their randomizers, is the ability to take XYZ, XYZ, XYZ as like nested coordinates. So like each layer, it would be 1 square of the grid of the layer above it, and basically randomize a whole multiverse with it, and just generate a model of wherever you're at in it from your location. And it's gonna have like, what star are you in, how many planets, the planets all have different biomes and shit, and then it's gonna have the star will have different classifications and stuff based on the size and heat output and things like that. Oh, it lets me use temperature for my star colors. So just like the hotter the star is, it goes up the scale. And then the other thing that I'm doing is I was trying initially to do like in these values, these coefficients, I was trying to do like accurate values to like what it would be. That's not putting it well, but let's say I'm calculating the distance of orbit. I was calculating like some number of millions of miles, right? Or millions of kilometers. And that was the value I was putting in the thing, but I realized that's the wrong way to do it. You gotta do them all as just coefficients, just 0 to 1 coefficients, and then you define your ranges externally to the randomizer. And that makes all the math just work really good. And then when you're done with all the math and you have the model and all the coefficients, you can go look at all those coefficients and you can go build a data table that maps all those coefficients to like their multiplied values, right? So you take your, if you have 80, if you're talking about orbit distance, for instance, from a 0 to 1 scale, well, you have 80 million kilometers that you're using for the solar system, so it's just 80 million kilometers times whatever that float is. And that's where that whatever that is will end up on the orbit. So I had to go basically retrofit a whole huge amount of shit, but I'm on the tail end of it now. I'm just completing the print to string functions for all these structs, so that I can easily view basically what it's generating. And then as far as like eye candy, I did a little bit. I have star texture I've been working on. I have these guys are all proceduralized now. Like this is fun. If you take these and you just change the temperature, it goes through the gamut of colors, right? And then if you change the composition, it goes through a different gamut of colors. And with those two values, you actually have a lot of randomization built in, and you can control it so that it never really looks terrible, because you're controlling the gradient of colors and you're controlling the spread of where you're sampling the pixels from the targeted point. Like, you can think of these as like a UV XY, right? And this is like, I'm not just sampling that point, I'm sampling points that are a certain distance away from the point. And it's actually working pretty well, I think. So you can get all kinds of shit, and it all will come out looking pretty good. Okay, struct to strings. These are easy, they're just mind-numbingly boring to make. Alright, so they always just take a struct in. You break it. So this basically becomes like our pseudo, like, dumbed down physics that govern this universe. So basically, these are all like little nested cascading structs that fill out the details procedurally. Okay, so that was this. Okay, this one's gonna probably be a bitch. And then we go here. This one shouldn't be too bad. Alright, I think I'm actually almost done here. Destroyed parameters, and this returns a string. Break this shit. This should be pretty easy. Oh man, it's bigger than I thought it was. Fuck. Then string. Oh, really? Could I? So how would I take the? How would I take a struct to JSON? That would be way easier. Well, I can look it up. Because that would be way easier than fucking doing this. I could write one function that just output all the fucking structs. Yeah, I'm gonna do it that way if possible. Struct to JSON UE5. There's a plugin for it, but surely... I don't want to pay for a plugin. Come on. Really? I mean, that's cool and all, but like, is there not just built-in... You said FJSON? Well, you know what? I want to do this, but I'm like, these are literally the last ones right here. These 4 values. Well, it's actually 6, but I'm just going to finish it this way. And then I'm going to do that at some point. And I'm just going to make a generic shit that fucking takes a struct and gives me some JSON. And outputs it like a log file. And then that'll be, I can fucking run like an active text editor or something with that. And that'll be way better. But for now, this will, so eventually this data structure will also support elliptical orbits rather than just circular ones, because I'm giving a orbit min and max. because if you think about it, like an ellipse is just defined by like two lines. It's basically, you can define an ellipse with a rectangle. For now, I'm going to be setting them to the same thing, and it'll be circular, and it's not going to take probably the max into account. But then eventually, when I want to change it to use ellipses, I'll be able to do that. Okay, so now we need one so let's start another function. Now that all these are written, I can go to, where am I spawning this stuff in? Here. Okay. Everything should be in these, so we can do oh yeah? I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm just trying to figure out the last little piece of this, because like right now I think I'm already generating the data structure right, hopefully. Probably not. I'm gonna have to fix something because there's a shitload of stuff that could go wrong, but basically I'll be able to see the output, which means that I'll be able to start fixing whatever's wrong with it and getting everything into the right ranges. And then once that thing's done, I basically had the backbone of the entire like game, just without any graphics attached to it. Yeah, that's... Yep, that would be good. Okay, so I need to... Wait. Did I not get cluster parameters to string? I did. I would be astounded if this worked the first time. That I tried to use it after hooking all this shit up together. Been hooking this shit up for like 3 days. And then from this, I need to break system parameters. And I need to Alright, so that'll print that, and then this. We'll print this. And we're going to want and then when all that's done, hold up. We'll just do this. Okay. I think that does it right there. I think. No, please God, no. Oh my God. Sweet baby Jesus. What's a UMG? Oh yeah. I mean, I'm definitely gonna cross that bridge when I get to it. The problem with the HUD is that if I really want to do a good spaceship HUD, it can't just be on the screen. It has to be projected in the space around the camera, because you need to do stuff like track the intersection point of a line with a sphere around you to be able to project like your momentum vector and stuff like that, and where it lines up. So eventually, oh, I see what you're saying. So just like a dev HUD. Oh my God, I hope I didn't lose too much. Asteroids have done. Oh no. I don't think I think I might have actually missed this one. Oh no, I intentionally didn't fill it out. Okay. It's handled in the planet. Alright, so I need to go back. Level blueprint. Alright, so I lost this, which sucks. Actually. but I didn't lose these, which is the most important. And then this, save, file. Let's be a little safer this time. Start parameters. Okay, and then this was like these get printed out by this, so I'm not worried about anything except for the objects that it doesn't fully describe. So for each, okay, so print string. I'm just gonna say frequently while constructing it this time. Okay, here to here, to here, to here, to here. Here. Oh, they weren't nested. They were consecutive. I don't think what I was feeding it should have caused it to choke because it wasn't that much. Maybe like a couple pages of strings. I mean, I'll just save it while I build it and then figure out what went wrong. Destroy parameter string. And we'll just leave local nebula off because those are kind of far away. That's what eventually I'm going to go back and I'm going to figure out how to get the ray marching shit working. And I'm going to get some really sick ass big local volumetric nebulas I can put in place. And when I do that, I'm going to spin up all that local nebula stuff, like the randomization of that. But that's a ways off. Completed. Okay, so this is what I fucked up on. It's like this. Yeah. For sure. And then I guess I might as well go ahead and print them anyway. All right, so prints all those out, and then lastly, all right. So when I run, what happens? Okay. Ah, because I had a misspelling and it didn't clean it up right. Okay. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, we got something. User age 1, density 0.55, background spawn rate 000711. Does have a galaxy. It's elliptical. 63.36% of the age of the universe. It's got about a 5.5% spawn rate for clusters. Its radius would be 0.33 relative to its coordinate space. Its temperature is 96. Composition 26. Local offset is a little bit of a local offset. We have a cluster. It's globular, embedded. It's young. It's this percentage of the age of the universe, so it's young. It has about 1.5% density of stars. It's big. It's warm. So far, so good. There's no star here. Its age is younger. Yep. Age of the universe, local offset. No planets, no asteroid belts, no nebulas. There's no stars, so that makes sense. The star is a post-sequence microdwarf. It is not embedded. It is young. Okay, that's wrong. So we found something wrong here. I need to start taking notes, because it shouldn't be post-sequence if it's that young. So, and I think I know, I think I'm doing the age relative to the cluster it's in rather than relative to the age of the universe, or at most the galaxy. It's probably just the universe. Shit. Okay, so let me make a note. We'll delete the note that was telling myself about the gradients as color baskets, and star types based on age need to come from be relative to the universe age and cluster age. Okay. This is local offset. That's used if you wanted to render the system from a distance. So this is used for like the star field maps and stuff. No planets, no asteroid belts, no nebulas. It doesn't have a star, but if it did have a star, it would be a post-sequence microdwarf that's not embedded, that's very young and very small, and has a reasonably high temperature and reasonably low composition. So it worked, sort of. I need to change now. Now I need to hunt for a position with something in it. So we're in a galaxy. We're in a galaxy. I wonder if I could monkey with this while it's... No. I'd have to do it at the start because I'm. Okay, so we're in a galaxy. We don't need to change these. From within the galaxy, we want to change. I don't think we were in a cluster. We were in a cluster. That's actually good. So, but we don't have a star. So we need to find a star. That's going to be these coordinates. No star. Something's going wrong here, I think. Main sequence. Oh, maybe it's just not. Let's wait till I find a star. And star false. Okay. But you know what? Just realized something. Could have been doing random bool weights from strings and going in with this one right in there. I can be doing that all over the place. Alright, well. I'll put log. No star. Yeah, see, like, these aren't getting randomized properly here. Some of the stuff is getting randomized. Age 174040. 174040. Yeah, this stuff's getting randomized properly. I think this stuff is not getting randomized properly because I'm not finding a star, though. I need... Where's my functions again? blueprints, structure strings. Alright, so now we can make sure that it's hitting the right coordinate. It is. Well, it's not surprising that we wouldn't have found one immediately. Let's, because it's only like a 2% chance or some shit. How can I... For now. Eventually, when I tackle elliptical orbits, I'll break that, but... Galaxy parameters, is that not used? I guess it's not.
Hey Sam, do you want to make dinner?
Alexa, broadcast. Alright, I'm gonna make dinner soon. I'm close to having this in pretty good order, I think. I have to find a coordinate that has a star in it. And the way to do that is here. A star. A star. Star size randomization doesn't appear to be working. I'll hunt the star till I find one. Like, my density is basically 1.5%. I can just go into cluster. I'll just go jack up randomizers here. Background spawn rate. Ah, yeah, these gotta be way higher. 50. And 100. There we go. That should make it easier to get a star. We're at like 7% now inside of a globular cluster. That's a little better. So Come on, find me one with a star in it. I can, and I will eventually for wherever the player spawns at. But I gotta make sure that like this thing's working too. I should at I can okay. What I can do instead is I can just go I can go like if I really wanted to do it, right, I could just order of magnitude these two things and then there's gonna be one. Or if this is working the way that it's supposed to, there will be one. Or not necessarily, but I'll be able to find one. Because now my cluster parameters, the density is going to be in like 70%. So yeah, it has a star. This isn't getting set properly, I don't think. Hang on, what's my radius? Yeah, because it should be a giant, and its class is micro dwarf. So that's wrong. Everything else looks decent. I know two things that are wrong with it right now. I've got these notes, and I'm about to go cook dinner. But I might come back after and fix these two things. So the star type of it being a main sequence when it's... Well, I found one that was flagged as post-sequence, and it was like 0.01 or something age, like the age was very low, and the sequence needs to be based on against the age of the universe, not the age of the cluster it's in, like the scale. So I gotta change that, and it looks like the type randomization isn't working, or the print isn't working. That was star print, so that would be structure strings star type gets type. It's class is what seems to not get randomized properly. That would be over here, randomize star parameters. Yeah, it's not set at all. Okay. So that's an easy fix. It's an extremely easy fix because I've already done it. I like to keep these detached from the sets and everything so that I can just move this little guy around. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So now I think I might want to add one more range, because right now I have micro dwarf, dwarf, giant, super giant. But I think I want to add like normal. So it'd be micro dwarf, dwarf, normal, giant, super giant. Oh, but you know what? It's not. Oh, shit. I just realized I left off the most important part of the planet generation. Not this. Here. These are too low. So I get 100 entries. Wait, did I have planets flagged here? No planets. So these are not working. Doesn't seem like. I mean, it's possible it could be. Planets, asteroid belts. Where's my little note here? Planets. Not. Because I should also have a bunch of details about planets and shit here coming out. Because the way that it's supposed to be working is that I increment 100 times until I pass 1 at adding 0.01 each time, and each one of those rolls a chance to have a planet in that slot, and then if that fails, it rolls a chance to have an asteroid belt in that slot. So you set a low chance on it, and it'll just like populate your orbits basically with planets. But it doesn't look like it's working at all right now, so I'm gonna have to revisit that after dinner. So I'll be back in an hour or two, maybe. It depends on if I fall asleep on the couch later.